Imagine having a world placed at your feet, one of the world's greatest talents. You can have anything in the whole world that your heart desires, except for love.
Would it have bothered you if your daughter, Whitney, was gay?
Absolutely.
What it do, family? It's your girl Tamika, and I am back with another video. Happy Monday, man. I know we all looking rough, but we don't care. It's a short week. Thanksgiving this week. Thank you, God. Listen, if it's your first time here, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Turn those post notifications on, man. Hit that bell so we can stay connected. Shout out to the squad, S&T. I love y'all, man. Thank you so much for coming back and tuning in. Listen, you guys. This was a topic I was going to talk about a long time ago, but when I found out that ROBYN Crawford was going to be dropping a book, I wanted to wait till I read it. Listen, if you have not read the book by ROBYN Crawford, A Song for You, Her Life with Whitney Houston, man, I please advise for you guys to go and read that book. It was probably one of the best reads. You know what I'm saying? The thing that's so crazy about this situation is because I've been nosy. You know what I mean? When I was growing up, I heard the little rumors of ROBYN and Whitney having a lesbian relationship, but you really never knew the details of it. You know what I'm saying? And ROBYN, for so long, has never said anything. You know what I mean? A lot of people was on the internet attacking her, like, Whitney's gone, why say something now? I never understood that. You know what I'm saying? When two people share a story, you know what I'm saying? Why can't two people talk about it? I just never understood that. I wanted to talk about this situation because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've read Sissy book. I've read excerpts or people who wrote books about Whitney. I read Bobby Brown's book, and now I was able to read ROBYN Crawford's book, and I was able to tie a lot of pieces together reading all of these books of art. You know what I'm saying? I like to call it. Man, good read. I want to talk about the fact how society molds us to do something completely different than what our heart is telling us to do. And this was definitely one of them. Whitney Houston probably had one of the greatest voices in the world. And she had this aura about her that made people just really want to naturally gravitate to her. And ROBYN Crawford kind of spoke to it in this book. And it's something that we all know anyway. Like, she just was like this auntie that we all wanted in our families. But then at the same time, you can look at her and you can see that it was something that was missing. It was a light that wasn't there. It was, she didn't have the same glow that she did when she first came out. Now, I know I'm not naive to the fact that when you get in this business, it can do some wear and tear. I get that part. But sometimes life is just so much sweeter when you can walk through it with the person who you absolutely love. When I was reading Every Little Step I Take by Bobby Brown, he had an excerpt in his book where he said, if Sissy Houston would have let Whitney Houston live her life, you know what I'm saying, with ROBYN, he absolutely feel like Whitney Houston would still be here today. Now, I read that, and that was the most powerful shit ever that I ever read, because here you have this man being her ex-husband. Only husband, you know what I'm saying? And for him to be able to say something as powerful as that, it had to be true. You know what I'm saying? And when I was reading ROBYN Crawford book, man, it was just things and it was just sides of Whitney that I really wish she would have been able to experience. You know what I mean? The sad part is the people who was molding her to be something other than what she really wanted to be. Clive Davis, Sissy Houston. Clive Davis just came out saying that he's bisexual himself. You see why you can't let other people dictate how you live your life? Because you never know how another person is living theirs. You can only love and do the best you can in this life. Now, Sissy, I can totally understand. She came from a completely different upbringing. At the same time, though, I feel like when you're a parent, it's your obligation to love your child through whatever. And sometimes when you set certain boundaries, what you really could be doing is killing your child softly. You know what I'm saying? But we about to slide into this video. You dig me? ROBYN Crawford met Whitney Houston when she was 19 years old. Whitney had just turned 17. They were counselors at the same summer camp. It was almost like their friendship was immediate. Robyn Crawford said in her book, on her first encounter in meeting Whitney Houston, it was something about Whitney that she felt like she always had to protect. Over time, they became very, very close. They confided in one another. They trusted one another. They shared each other's life goals and ambitions. And over time, that friendship did develop to something romantic. But sometimes when people associate lesbian relationships, the first thing that they think about is sex, when it's a lot deeper than that. Robyn and Whitney had a lifelong connection. I ain't gonna flex, y'all. There was times in this book where I was completely empathetic for Robyn. You know what I'm saying? Even though Whitney had ended the physical portion of their relationship, I really kind of felt like Whitney was still very possessive of Robyn. Somewhat selfish in a sense. You know what I mean? There was a time in the book where she slapped the shit out of Robyn because Robyn had kissed someone else, which I really didn't understand because she was dating Jermaine Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Bobby Brown, and it had to be like a really hard pill to swallow to sit courtside and watch the person who you truly love marry somebody else. I mean, I guess they was really honest with each other when they said they'd rather be in each other's lives some way than to be out of it completely. That's deep, because the wedding would have been fucked up if it was me. I ain't lying. All types of shit would have been flipped over. The cake, the doves, everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't reached that level of maturity yet, or so I don't think. But anyway, over the time, though, it was crazy. Another thing I wanted to touch on, even though Robyn and Whitney used to do coke together, you know what I'm saying, when they was growing up, they used to have this saying where they would be like, you know what I'm saying, the coke couldn't go where we were going. And it hurts me so bad because that was something that Whitney Houston really couldn't remain steadfast on. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how many times Robyn wanted her to just pull back from the limelight and get help. And she even went and told her mama and daddy. Now, you know you love somebody when you go and tell their mama and daddy. She went to John Houston and she went to Sissy Houston like, look, I'm telling y'all, we got a problem. We need to pull her back. You know what I'm saying? She needs some time for herself to reflect. And she had so many enablers around her. And she was paying so many bills to where when Whitney said she had it, they trusted that. Because at the same time, her working meant everybody was getting paid. And that was the start to where I think the breakdown in their friendship and relationship came from. It was just that Robyn really couldn't stand by to see Whitney get broke down the way that she was broken down. So she ended up leaving Nippy Inc., you know what I'm saying? And she went out on a leap of faith, you know what I'm saying? But even though she was not directly involved in Whitney's life anymore, she seen the shit like we all did, you know what I'm saying? We seen that picture of Whitney, the 30th Michael Jackson performance. Oh my God, that shit broke my heart. I remember when I seen her, I was like, who the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? So we all start to witness the demise and decline of Whitney Houston. And it really had to hurt Robyn to be able to see that and not really be hands on deck anymore to where she can do anything. It's crazy because she talked about the moment that she found out when Whitney Houston had passed. And she was actually out to dinner with her wife and some friends, where her friend actually was the one that got the call. And not knowing what Robyn was to Whitney, she got off the phone and said something like, you know, my sister is a diehard Whitney fan, and they're saying that she passed away. And what really stood out to me in this moment was the fact that Robyn's wife allowed her that space, allowed her that moment, because she knew exactly what Whitney meant to Robyn. And to me, that just spoke volumes of not only how Robyn loved, but how she reciprocates love as well. And I felt like that was a really dope moment for me. It's sad as hell, because no matter how many excerpts I read, everything remains the same. They always say that Robyn was like a good permanent fixture to be in Whitney's life. And there was times in the book where Robyn said that Whitney had reached out to her, you know what I'm saying, on her last couple months here on earth, but they never really had that chance to connect. And it just always make a person wonder, like, what if? You know what I'm saying? What makes this whole situation so sad to me is that Whitney Houston is actually completely erased from this earth. She has her daughter not here no more. She don't have anybody to live the legacy. It's like if she didn't have the voice, we wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? And it's just real sad that situations and choices that we make can really affect our presence and our futures. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, what happened if Sissy Houston welcomed ROBYN and Whitney with open arms and allowed Whitney to be the person who she truly wanted to be? You know what I'm saying? Would she still be here? But then we also got to ask the question, would Chrissy have been here? It's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I want to know how y'all feel, though, man. Drop it down in the comments. If you had the pleasure of reading the book, drop it down. I want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't read it, please go read it. It's a good book. It's a good read. You know what I'm saying? All jokes aside. Yo, if you like videos like this, man, get this video a thumbs up. Thumb me up, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming back and tuning in. And until next video, I'm going to catch y'all. You dig?